Hello, day 36 of our reflective tarot read, and it's Chesed, the fourth Sephirot of Yesod, the ninth, so a new week this week. Yeah, from Hod to Yesod. So Yesod, that ninth Sephirot, is where all the energies of the upper pair and flow down through Sephirot into the heart. Yeah, so they channel into Yesod before like birthing out into Malkuth, manifesting into material form, into Malkuth. So Yesod, just to give you a little overall of Yesod, it's associated with the male phallus and the birthing canal, and I mean it's a ninth Sephirot, 9 months gestation. So we can see Yesod in operation, I was thinking, through, you know, the creation and birth of a child. So some of the words of Yesod in the process of creating a child, there's yearning and desire between two people for connection, bonding, intimate physical relationship, which, you know, sex act follows. And there's a creation of sperm, and then the sperm and egg and attaching, unifying, attachment is a word, and that's the act that starts generating a child. So Yesod is chai in Kabbalah. It's the blueprint of creation, you know, in that human sperm and egg. And what happens is they divide, you know, they come together and then they start dividing into cells and multiplication. So in that sense it replicates the act of source creation, as in the emanation of the Sephirot, you know, dividing into the two pillars and then combining in the middle to the central one to be birthed into Malkuth. So that kind of process of desire and creating, you know, the actual act that creates, and the process of a human being's body being created, is, it's a way to look at the whole tree that way. Yeah, so Malkuth is the vessel of the material world that Yesod pours through. So the material world, or the child produced, is the outcome of that process, I was thinking. Yet we've got to raise the child. And in this Kabbalah tree of life, we're raising that spark, that original spark, back up the tree spiritually. So it's like raising the Kundalini, raising the Christ consciousness, the Christos oil. Yeah, it's reuniting. So the energetics of Yesod is immensely powerful. It produces powerful desires to connect and bond, as it holds that generative, creative principle, what we're rooted in, you know, what we desire and create, where our sacral energy, because that's the sacral Yesod, is focused, you know, what it's receptive to, and kind of whether our hearts, different above, are shut down or open, because the alchemical centre of the heart would determine what we express in the world via Yesod, what we can manifest, which is a word of Malkuth, manifestation. So yeah, Yesod is life force. It's the picture of kind of like a tiny green shoot that's buried under concrete and somehow makes its way up the crack of the pavement. that tremendous life force against all odds. It will sprout. It's that kind of energetics, powerful energetics, chi energy. So yeah, all the weeks before, you know, we had like the endless flow. Well, we got that today as well, but like the weeks before, the endless flow of Chesed with the, you know, limitation of Geburah. And then we had the dynamic tension and balance of Tiferet, the focused energy of Netzach, and the surrender of Hod. And this is all what's funneling down, as well as those upper Sephirot, funneling down into Yesod. So for me, Yesod is the place where we truly see ourselves, you know, and the nature of our connection and attachment to ourselves, the human world, nature, the cosmos, source. So it's a place of polarity and unity, of like the unknown and the ability to know. It's powerful life force, and it's where we receive both wounding and healing. The name for Yesod is El Chai Shaddai. El is God, Chai is Chi, life force, and Shaddai is described as almighty, but also it's used in expressions as God of the wilderness and of destruction. So it can be that kind of desert aspect of our spirituality. So yeah, with the lovers, with all that I was looking at, the lovers in that regard is a symbol of the mystical marriage of like the alchemist at heart. Yeah. So it's representing a kind of initiation and the process of union, so involving like that dissolution, which is that separation into male and female, the two poles of the tree. Yeah, so there's a separation, and the same with, you know, that's why I use the analogy of a fetus forming and a child being created, you know, conception and then division. Yeah, the angelic image above apparently is Eros, and Eros is the archetypal force of love behind all manifestation, which is Chi, life force. So our process within Yesod is then the way I was looking at it, both like unifying and dividing. So it's kind of like a separation and an observation of our ego nature and soul. You can kind of look at it, I hope that makes sense. That division is the division out of our egoic small self and our soul higher self, so that we can observe. Yeah, we can, you know, I mean, the process, and it's the same for all of us, but it expresses differently, but it's the process where we see memories emerge, you know, ways of being, emotions, thoughts, they all get highlighted in this alchemical process. But you know, this lover's experience, this symbology on here, it involves a choice of remaining in that state of division or alchemizing and integrating to produce the third, you know, the manifest creative force. So yeah, we've got the choice when we get our memories and ways of beings and things coming up, and we see kind of this almost like a schizophrenic vision of, you know, your devil and your angel, whatever. When we see that kind of polarity within us, we can choose to ignore it, or we can choose to alchemize it, unify it. So yeah, this is the unification. This is Chesed, which is the endless flow of unconditional love. Yeah, and it's the chopper. I said it before, a place of marriage, union. And when we align to that Chesed, we're opening to that life force, the chi of Yesod, the energies of transformation. That's basically what we're doing. And then the Nine of Wands here is showing kind of the opposite of that openness of Chesed. So the wands there, you can see like they're a barricade. They're not open like the fours. And he's holding on to his own wand. He's like really grabbing it. He's not wanting to open or make a choice. He's kind of suspicious, defended. He's staying. He's got a bandaged head, so there's a sense he's staying in his wounds, not opening to that flow of Chesed in Yesod. Yeah, so in this position, his dividedness, because he's kind of, to be in a defensive place, you've got to have observed that division within you, you know, to have that suspicion. So his dividedness is needed to reunite. You've got to see the masculine and feminine to merge them. You've got to be male and female. Can you see? I don't know if it makes sense. It's a really kind of simple but difficult concept to kind of apply. So I suppose the way we could see it is we can't manifest as a unity, like creative life force in the world, if we're hanging on, if we're not making that choice to integrate and unify. And you know, our wounds are meant to open us to the deeper levels. You know, like when you cut your skin, it opens, it reveals the layers of flesh and blood vessels if you have a deep enough cut, and it causes the flow of blood. So in the same way, metaphorically, our wounds are meant to do, you know, our life wounds are meant to do that. They're meant to open you up and cause the flow of life blood, chi, life flow. So this week of Yesod, basically, we'll look at the various energetics, you know, of like Geburah, Sephirot. We're looking at Chesed today, of Netzach Hod, yeah, and reflect on where we are open and where we're barricaded. So it's a week to get naked, I was thinking. Like, you know, under the force of chi, life force, love, that, you know. So as we look at Yesod, like through the tree of life and the upper Sephirot, we can then ask, you know, just ask openly, honestly, where am I open to that flow and where am I barricaded? Where do I see division in me? Where do I see unity in me and around me as well? You know, what am I birthing? What am I manifesting into the world? What have I birthed into the world? That's a good indication often of, you know, where you're unified or in division. You know, in Malkut of Yesod, by the time we arrive there, after looking at all those, we should have a good insight, you know, and be open, have our tent open to get a good old revelation of our true selves. And nothing wrong with any of it, you know. There's a sense of, you know, being open and having an open heart to allow spirit to reveal the essence of who you really are. And it's kind of the nature of what encases us, that kind of thing I talked about of Michelangelo's, you know, the angels in there, the reason we look at our shadow and that kind of polarity between us is to free that, not to judge ourselves or feel bad about ourselves. It's to free that angel. But you can't see it if you're kind of defending against the shadow stuff. You can't see the essence, because it's both sides. It's the combination of both sides. Yeah. So that's an awful lot of information, I know. So I'll pull us a Rumi, and I'll pull us a message card, but a Rumi might just be enough. So it's, when I'm moving on to a new one, it's like I want to actually explain what it's about, otherwise the following week probably won't make much sense. Well, it might, I don't know. Okay, let's have a look. Right, what have we got here? Ah, the right choice. Oh, that's really interesting, isn't it? I was saying you can't make a choice, they got to make a choice. Yeah, the right choice, number 29. It's a lovely picture, it's very angelic. Don't know if you see the colours, are kind of reddish. They look very earthy colours, so maybe they're root choices, Malkuth choices. I'll have a look, see what Rumi's saying. Oh, excuse me while I get the right page. Okay, stay close to those who know about the heart. Choose the shade of tree that is in constant bloom. Don't meander aimlessly among the herb sellers and the potion vendors. Go directly to the shop that sells nothing but sweets. You had a right thing for sweets, Rumi. I think you liked his food. Don't sit waiting by every boiling pot to have your plate filled. Not every boiling pot is cooking what you want. Not every sugar cane is filled with sugar. Not every down has an up. Not every eye has vision. Not every sea contains pearls. Within you, I recognise my most trusted friend. Ah, we go back a long way to before that moment when time began. We knew each other then, even before time was born. So I say, hello, my old and dear friend. So lovely for us to meet again. And I feel how your heart responds with a wave of love, for it's that love that is you, my most trusted friend. Yeah. That's beautiful. That's really beautiful. That's kind of that, what I was saying about, you know, that vision of, you know, we are love, we are life force, we are all and all is us. That kind of seed, you know, seed of potential, that angel, the divine essence. So yeah, he's kind of talking about seeing that and making the choice to see that, you know, and not run after the things that we may use actually to defend and barricade ourselves with, you know, distractions. Yeah, so lovely, Rumi. I'll pull us a quick daily healing card. You might need it after all that. So yeah. So, what have you got to say, Spirit? A desert. I can't really see whether it's a... No, it's waves, isn't it? It says to feel your innate sense of truth. Develop open-mindedness. Yeah. So... open-mindedness, make the right choice. So I think it's a week to be open, to see all of yourself, to feel your innate sense of truth, develop open-mindedness. So I hope we can all have open-mindedness this week and make the right choice, and you know, watch ourselves get flooded with beautiful life force, chi. All right, hope you enjoyed that. Lots of love. Bye.